I want you to stop for just one moment and ask yourself one honest question. Is this the life you actually chose? Not the life that happened to you. Not the life that was expected of you. Not the life that fear built for you. One compromise at a time. The life you would choose if nobody was watching, if nobody had an opinion, if the only voice that mattered was the one inside you, that you have been quietly ignoring for years. Most men never ask that question, and the ones who do usually ask it too late. The Stoics asked it every single day. Stay with me. There is a moment that happens to millions of men every single day. It happens in the shower, in the car on the way to work, in the silence at 2 a.m., when everyone else is asleep. A quiet voice that says, "This is not the life I was meant for." Most men push that voice down immediately. They call it ungrateful. They call it unrealistic. They call it a midlife crisis and go back to sleep. But that voice is not weakness. That voice is the most important signal a human being ever receives. It is the sound of a life lived against its own nature. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." But the first question that instruction demands is this: what kind of man do you actually want to be? Not what kind of man your parents wanted. Not what kind of man your employer needs. Not what kind of man society rewards. What kind of man would you be if you had the courage to choose without permission? Most men never answer that question, not because they don't know the answer, but because the answer would require them to change. And change is terrifying to a man who has spent years building a life that looks right from the outside but feels hollow from the inside. The Stoics called this living against nature, living in a direction that contradicts who you actually are. And they believe, with complete certainty, that no amount of external success could compensate for the internal emptiness of a misdirected life. Think about the Sunday feeling, that quiet dread that arrives every Sunday evening as the weekend ends. That feeling has a name. In Stoic philosophy, it is the feeling of a life lived in the wrong direction. Your soul knows before your mind admits it. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Most men do it completely backwards. They build the career first, the house first, the lifestyle first, and then spend decades trying to figure out who they actually are underneath everything they built. For everyone else, the man who wakes up at 40 in the wrong life did not make one catastrophic decision. He made 1,000 small ones, each one logical, each one reasonable, each one moving him slightly further from the direction his soul was pointing. Until one morning, the distance between who he is and who he was meant to be is so vast he cannot see the way back. But here is what the Stoics knew, that most people miss. There is always a way back. Not back to who you were, forward to who you were always supposed to become. Marcus Aurelius started writing his greatest work in his 50s. Epictetus built his school after a lifetime of slavery. Seneca wrote his most powerful letters in the final years of his life. The Stoics did not believe in wasted years. They believed in the present moment. And in the present moment you always have the power to make one aligned decision. Not to blow up everything. Not to abandon your responsibilities. Just one decision today that points toward who you actually are. And then another tomorrow. And another the day after. Over time those decisions compound, and the life that was built by default begins to be replaced by the life that was chosen with purpose. It is never too late. The voice at 2 a.m. is not your enemy. It is the most honest friend you have ever had. Listen to it. This is Stoic rules. Stop living the life that was handed to you. Start building the one you would choose if fear had no vote.